Hi, if you're just now joining me, my name is Kat Clark, and this is the Walking Dead English Senior Seminar at Clemson University. Last week I wrapped up talking about the Walking Dead video game. I've been talking about the chapters for the past couple weeks, and now we've moved on to the new platform. This week I will be talking about the first section of Robert Kirkman's novel, The Rise of the Governor. So far in the class we have read the graphic novel, we've played the video game, we watched a TV, but I think this is the most different format from any of them because there is no visual part to it. It is all, you have to picture everything in your head, and that's not that difficult for us now, or, as a reader in general, but since we've been immersed into the Walking Dead world and how Robert Kirkman sees it, we're kind of in tune to the aesthetic, so it's definitely interesting. I don't like it as much as the other platforms. So far I like the video game the most because it was more interactive, and coming right off of that, I don't feel as connected to the characters as I did with the video game because, I was controlling their actions. And in this, I kind of have to just go along with it. And in the same way that, the same kind of feeling of reading the graphic novel, you can only control the pace so much. Like, you eventually you're going to have to turn the page and kind of push forward, and things are going a little crazy. Not that much happen. Things happen. Obviously, it's a book. Things must happen. In the first section, we meet Brian, who is kind of a hippie, washed up kind of guy. He's got a niece named Penny, who is 7, and there's his brother Philip, and a couple other friends. There's Bobby, who's a rotund fella, and Nick, who's a little more religious. And I really like Brian as a character. I think he's gonna be interesting. I don't really care for Philip right now. He almost feels more like a caricature of a person than an actual person. He's very like Chuck Norris-y, like I'm gonna bust some heads, and it almost feels a little over the top for me. But there's maybe he'll grow on me. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I thought this book, or the way that it starts is interesting. It felt like at first it was starting in the middle of action, but they haven't started calling them walkers yet. They don't really know what's going on. So it turns out that it's only like 72 hours into the zombie apocalypse, and they just now found out that they can kill them by busting heads. So it's actually at the very beginning of the story, which is very interesting because in all the other, in the video game, and it started in the middle of. Well, actually, no. Sorry, they all kind of started sort of at the beginning, but I don't know. It just felt like we got more of a view of how people were reacting and figuring these things out. With the other platforms, it wasn't so much you finding that out, or didn't feel the same way. I really like the writing style. It goes really quickly. I'm sort of a slow reader. It took me like 2 hours to get through 100 pages, which is not terrible. It flows well. And I like the language. I was surprised that it had, the vocabulary that it does. It's an intelligent story. It just wasn't expecting quite the level of word choice. And they do a really good job in the book. I like the phrase "6 bodies lie akimbo in bloody heaps." I was just like, that's a good sentence. Like, I like that. I see what you mean. Overall, I like the writing style. It's not my favorite book so far, but I'm interested to see how they survive Atlanta and good luck to them. Thanks for watching. Next week I'll be talking about the second section of The Rise of the Governor.